I'm going to go off script a little bit here, and dynamic-wise, with two married couples, I mean, sometimes with a married couple that's running a business, there can be enough friction for everyone. But with two married couples, just kind of talk about the dynamics of your guys' partnership, what it looks like now, what it looked like when you guys started. I think that there's just a lot. To me, it's very interesting how just how you make it all work, because you've got different personalities, but you've got two different couples that are working towards the same goal too. So just talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, I mean we all know each other really well. We've known each other for a long time, so we've seen some good and bad from each other already. But no, I mean I think that these guys would agree that we all sort of bring something to the table. You know, we all have our strengths, we all have our weaknesses, and we're able to, as a unit, I think, achieve, you know, some success. So I think we all have learning to do, and I don't think it ever stops.
I think that's one of the biggest questions I feel like people ask me is, are you guys still friends? Like, and do you still vacation together and you still hang out? And it's like, I think because we've known each other, you know, since college, so coming on 20 years we've known each other. I think that we had such a foundation built in a friendship first, which kind of like a relationship, you know, that we can say, you know, you're pissing me off today, and the other guy says, yep, yep, you are.
Yeah.
And I think that nobody holds anything against it, you know. I mean, we've had a couple like really stressful moments trying to get this thing started, and it was like everybody needs to disappear. Like, I don't want to see, nobody wants to see anybody, you know, a couple of hours, let's meet back, it's all, you know, it's all fine.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a marriage.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we use humor a lot. Like, we have a text thread with all of us, and like a lot of memes and gifts and whatever.
Yeah.
Like, so that I think we use humor a lot to get through the little things.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of easier. So like, I couldn't imagine like if Tara and I just owned McCue's and didn't have Ryan and Katie. Like, cause I mean, you as a small business owner, you go home and you're like, no, I think it should be this way. No, it should be that way. And then it tears you apart. But now we have, okay, if this is tearing us apart, put this in Katie and Ryan's court. Like, let them be the side.
Right.
Because then it doesn't tear you apart. Because then you have another voice into this mix instead of a therapist, you know?
Right.
Like, let's involve the other partners. Let's decide how this should go. And then just to piggyback on that is that whatever's the majority of this group, that's what we do. Like, I may feel strongly one way, but if the other three don't, then that's cool.
Right.
We move on. So
Yeah.
yep. So I think it's better that way. I mean, having all of us here together to me. I mean, because we've made some tough decisions.
Yeah.
So and it's, you know, it's just, it is what it is, and you move on. So
Yeah.
yep.
It's like, I don't like to do social media. Like, I just like, it takes forever. Ryan's good at it. He likes it. Kate's good at getting the t-shirts together and all that stuff. I can handle the paperwork, and he handles the maintenance stuff.
Right.
So we all have our roles, and we all know what our roles are. So, and then if there's something crazy that comes up, then we kind of all get together and be like, all right, we better handle it this way.
Yeah.
And I think when someone makes a decision too, like, we entrust that you're making the best decision with the information that you have.
Right.
And that's what happens, so.
But communication is the key.
Oh,
I mean,
definitely.
at the root of all of it. And I think
Yeah.
that's a highlight for any small business, whether it's a solo person, you've got to communicate to a lot of different people, or if you've got a partnership. Like I said, if you've got a problem with someone, you need to be able to say, hey, I've got a problem. We can go away, but we've got to come back and we've got to address this, because otherwise that's when the friction starts. So,
Right. And we've had a text thread amongst the four of us for
Since we started.
since we opened. I mean, you probably go back
Didn't
months and months and
we
months.
like crash it or something one
Yeah,
time?
it crashed my whole phone.
It
'cause
was such
so
a long
big
thread,
one.
it was too much.
But it's it's a constant, it's a daily communication amongst the four of us that everybody's in the loop all the time. Even if I don't care, I'm just like, oh well, I saw it, so good for me.
Keep
you know,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
how it is.
And I think we take that for granted. I think our foundation was built on communication. Like, I mean, we owe, like, even starting this, from idea to actually rolling and saying, okay, we're gonna do this. I mean, there was just a ton of communication. So I think our foundation was built on just, okay, we're gonna, whatever.
Right.
Good, bad, and ugly, great, here it is. Like, that's just what we, so communication's never been, like one of our detriments, I guess. I think we do that extremely well, so.
Yeah. Did it take you time to find your roles?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we absolutely had to come and sit down and have a meeting, you know, and say who's got what here, you know? So I think it was very beneficial.
There was a lot of stuff in the beginning, like when we were opening, that, you know, Tara and I handled the fine details, you know,
Right.
the furniture, the glassware, the, you know, all the, you know, kind of details where the guys were dealing with the construction, the build out, you know, drywall, things like, you know, things like that. And then at that point, then we had to kind of, once we were getting ready to open, we had to say, okay, now what are our roles gonna be?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
I think we learned a lot of lessons too in the first 2 years. I think everything that could possibly have went wrong, and it only makes you tougher. Like, we went through some like major bank fraud, somebody hacked into our account, our whole cooler system went down. Like, I don't remember what else happened, but in the first year we got really tested. Like, you come in, you'd be like, oh no,
Man, you
not today.
learn a lot. You
Yes.
learn a lot. You make a lot of mistakes, and you just learn from them.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
That's how you get better, right?
Yeah. So we've been tested, so we don't need to be tested anymore.
Right. Well, in a pandemic, so.
Right,
Yeah.
right. I'm like, you open a business in your second year and a pandemic hits, and you're just like, okay, I got this, we
Right.
got this, we can do
I don't
this.
No big deal.